thinking of every way they could to torment them out of their minds and out of their faith. And admitting it in their reports. There's no need to recount all their cunning or all their violence. And finally, the grand plan, which was simply to destroy the church. Two years ago today, armored vehicles battering at the building for 6 hours, flooding it repeatedly, time and again, with gas. I wonder if there was a storm at sea when the Mayflower crossed. It was nearly as threatening or horrible to its occupants as those hours for the men, women, and children in the church here. And the fire this time took the lives of all those who would not yield their faith. When you think of what they suffered through all the days of torment and the hours of direct assault and violence, and they gave their lives. They gave their lives because they believed. They did have a cause. They were religious people, and they ought to have been let alone. And they had done no wrong, and the government had no right to be here. And it is for us, the living, to see that they have not died in vain. Let me tell you, it's not enough to only say that we failed. The struggle goes on. And we can yet see the fruits of their struggle and the good of their lives. It's imperative that you and I persevere relentlessly until every person in prison is free, out of prison, their innocence established, until there's a special prosecutor and prosecutions of the people who violated the rights of this church and its members and took their lives. The integrity of the Constitution and the laws of the United States depend upon our doing that. We cannot run away from it. There has to be accountability. Those people would be alive. They would be praying right now, and it would be a better world, except for the mad violence of our government agents, and we are responsible for their conduct, and we have to hold them accountable. And the truth must come out. The great hope for the civil actions is not money. Our materialism is one of the great flaws of this society. We measure everything by the almighty dollar. But these plaintiffs don't want money. They want truth to prevail. They want principles of law to tell the government, thou shalt not violate the rights of the people to be let alone. You cannot murder your own citizens with impunity. You will be held accountable. And finally, on this hallowed ground, there has to rise the monument chosen by the members of the church. The church goes on. I hope it will be a living monument. Another church from which music and love and children laughing will come forth. I hope it will be on this site. And I hope it will tell the governments of the world to renounce violence against their people, to respect all of their rights, the first being the right to be let alone, and that the people will assume the responsibility for seeing that governments serve and not destroy their purpose and their lives. Let us go forth from here committed to see that these beautiful souls shall not have passed in vain. Thank you.
A little bit of an update on the bombing in Oklahoma City. As I understand, the one bomb did go off. 6 children were killed. 90 people have been injured. 2 more bombs have been found and disarmed. Hamas has taken credit for the bombing, but every news report that I've heard thus far, every news reporter is mentioning that this is the 2nd anniversary of the fire here at Mount Carmel. People here at Mount Carmel have nothing to do with it. Yet the news media, it seems as though they can't forget. So let's pray for those 6 little children that lost their lives. And let's pray for the 90 people that are injured up there. We're going to take a short break right now. For just a few minutes. We were going to wait until about 1 o'clock this afternoon, but we're going to take just a short break. And then we're going to begin our afternoon service, the memorial service, and the planting of the trees. So if you'll all stick around, we'd certainly appreciate it. And those speakers that spoke this morning, we'd appreciate it if you would come up here. I guess they want to take some group pictures, and then we'll take a break here for a little bit. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't recognize it. Hindsight, looking back on it.